Hi, my name's Steve Barrett. I'm the Editor-in-Chief of PRWeek. Delighted to be here with Harris Diamond, who's Chairman and CEO of McCann World Group. Used to run Weber Shandwick back in the day, so has a great perspective for PRWeek readers on trends at Cannes. Harris, what have you seen this week that's really caught your eye, and what are the trends that you'll be taking back to your folks?
You know what's feeling really good about this week is I think we've once again come back to the concept of creativity has to permeate everything. And we're seeing it in almost all elements of the business right now. Everything from outdoor to experiential to public relations to branding to advertising, television, broadcast. And this is, a welcome return to the basics of the business. And I think what's exciting about it, though, is we have a lot of different platforms now that we can experiment with, play with, and you're seeing them all at Cannes.
And what are the campaigns that for you have stood out, and the ones I think I remember the last time I was here was 2 years ago, and Dumb Ways to Die just dominated the whole show, which was a McCann campaign, which I think it's the most successful campaign ever at Cannes. Nothing like that this year, but that was a one-off probably. What's caught your eye this year, and especially from a McCann point of view?
From a McCann point of view, there's been some terrific news for L'Oreal. I think we've won somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 golds with respect to something that we call Makeup Genie, which is an app that allows a woman or a man to basically take a look at how different cosmetics will affect their appearance and what type of cosmetics to buy. It's an example of how the business is changing, which is trying to find ways to basically have brands play a more meaningful role in people's lives, but also to be a utility for people. And so you also see that with Nivea, which is one of our sister companies. FCB created a doll that actually gets a sunburn so children can get a sense of it's time to reapply. We're seeing all different ways by which we can both market, brand, increase the reputation, and really show the powerful nature of what marketing can do to help products succeed in today's marketplace.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. It was across the health lines as well. I think it may well have been in the PR category. So how are, especially looking with your history in PR, how are agencies working together now, and what sort of partnerships are emerging? And just sort of putting your old PR hat on, how do you think PR's doing? Because you obviously were here in a PR capacity for a number of years.
Well, and it was my formative years was obviously in marketing, was public relations, and the work we did in those days. But I think what's happening is PR in a funny way has actually hit its stride even more so today than it did years ago. Years ago, public relations was reputation oriented, it was campaign oriented, it was fundamentally oriented to bring products and get third-party opinion moving with them. Today, PR is a one-to-one business, and that's working really well with the marketing businesses. I think we have never been as seamless when we take a look at marketing as a whole. Public relations, integral in most McCann campaigns. Very rare that we're not looking at it. In fact, we've won here for General Motors with work that we're doing with a public relations agency. And this is, I think, what the future is going to hold, which is a tighter knitting of all the marketing services, respecting the specialization nature, though, of the individual companies.
And we've also seen PR firms win in other categories apart from
PR.
Absolutely. But do you think PR firms will ever have that big idea? Will they be ever leading that idea?
Well, I think with Gail Hyman as the chairperson of Weber Shandwick, there is no doubt that PR campaigns will have big ideas. And I say that because Gail Hyman would kill me if I said anything otherwise. But actually, it's true. I mean, Gail taught me what creativity was all about many years ago. And I think it's a lot of public relations today, agencies understand that not only do they have to create content, relatively new since I was in the business, but they also have to create content that attracts the attention of the individual consumers. That takes creativity, and you're going to see PR agencies continue to mature, continue to get better. You're also going to see advertising agencies do the same thing. The world has changed. I mean, we all understand that. But the platforms that are out there for us, they're terrific to experiment and come up with new creative ideas.
Just talking of Gail was a judge in the Glass Lions, which were put on for the first time this year. But it was very noticeable, even in the Glass Lions, that most of the people who went up to get awards were actually men. And on the evening, it was dominated by male creatives going up on stage. What needs to happen to even up that gender balance in the creative industries?
Well, I think it is changing. I mean, if you take a look at Weber Shandwick as an example, I mean, obviously, as a founder of the company, very proud of the fact that today I think 54% of the senior management team is women. I think the creative force in Weber Shandwick, Kathy Calhoun, Susan Howe, Sarah Gavin, Micho Spring, Randy Cooper. This is being repeated though in other agencies too. I think Weber Shandwick was a little ahead of the curve. We had very strong-willed people in that company, very strong-willed management team. They understood that the fact of the matter is, unless you're diverse, the reality is it's hard to then claim that you actually understand the consumers you're trying to reach. Advertising agencies have been a little bit slow to the draw. I actually think it's still a bit of an issue. But progress is being made. It needs to be faster. It needs to be, candidly in my mind, more aggressive. But I think you are seeing change take place in the advertising agencies too. But PR has been ahead of the curve with respect to looking for not just gender neutrality, but on a multicultural, diverse background.
Yeah, that was an issue as well. Yeah. Okay, well, it'll be good to see how the glass lines develop. But Harris, thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your time in Cannes.
Well, thank you.
This was Steve Barrett for PR Week, reporting from Cannes.